Newsletter 9, Broad Daylight. Playful Power, the 7-week embodiment series, Class 2. The SEA practice. See, embrace, allow. The body shame industry disconnected you from your body first, then the attention economy made women turn against each other. Here's what happened. Not to blame, but to understand. First, the body shame industry convinced you something was wrong with your body. So you slumped your shoulders, crossed your arms over your chest, and learned to take off less and less space. You stopped making eye contact because you didn't really want to be seen. You cut yourself off from your own self-pride. And now you walk into rooms already feeling like you don't belong. Then the attention economy gave you someone to blame for that feeling. Not the system, not the conditioning, but her. The woman across the room who seems to have it all together. The one on your screen with the better body, better skin, and what you perceive to be a better life. She's why you feel this way. She's the competition. And just like that, women who could be allies become threats. We size each other up. We compete for attention, often from men who aren't even trying to make us comfortable. Empathy for the women caught in it. Here's what I've learned. The women who treat you like competition, she's not the enemy. She's caught in the same trap. She's worrying about the way she looks, even if she hides it well. She's been disconnected from her feminine pride too. She's at least partially play acting because she knows that her status in the hierarchy is always in danger, simply because the system is a rank and file system defined by women at the bottom. When you see her clearly, not as a rival, but as another woman navigating a broken system, something softens. You don't have to fight her. You don't have to compete with her. You don't have to hate her. You don't have to convince her to think like you. You can simply opt out of the competition entirely. Because the competition was never real. It was manufactured to keep all of us distracted from our actual power. What you'll notice when you actually scan a room. When you stop looking at your phone and start assessing what's actually in front of you, here's what you'll see. Some of the men aren't being kind. Some are trying too hard. Some are oblivious. A few are actively crude. This isn't about hating them. It's about seeing clearly. When you see that no one is going out of their way to be courteous or to make others comfortable, there's no compassion, you stop waiting for the permission to be there. Test it out. Observe the room like this and you'll be much less nervous about yourself. You stop trying to earn attention from people who don't even seem to have the slightest interest without your effort. And the women? Most of them are just as uncomfortable as you feel, even the ones who looked polished. They're not above you, they're beside you, doing their best to feel good in their own skin. When you see this, really see this, something shifts. No one here is better than me, and I don't have to compete to belong. The game changes because the one who wins isn't the prettiest or the loudest. It's the one who is alert and composed. When I learned scanning isn't fear, it's wisdom. In early spring, before a single seed grows into the ground, a farmer will walk his land, not to plant, to inspect the area, to see if anything within his knowledge base needs adjustment due to current conditions or things that might have happened over winter. What survived? Where is the soil ready? Where is it still frozen? What's that pat of discoloration? Is it disease or just a shadow? Where did the deer break through the fence? This reconnaissance isn't anxiety, it's wisdom. You don't plant until you know the threat has passed. You don't invest your resources or your time until you've assessed the terrain. My Mennonite ancestors understood this in their bones. For centuries, they read their crops and their horizons, watching for signs of both harvest and danger. They appeared non-threatening while staying completely self-sustainable. Plain dress, quiet presence, full awareness. The women did this too, not just in the fields, but in their rooms, in the kitchens, at the church gatherings. They knew how to scan a space without broadcasting that they were scanning. That skill still keeps them safe. It can keep you safe too. What I thought I was teaching versus what I was actually teaching. When I first learned the step drag walk in that exotic dancing class, I thought it was about being sexy. Draw attention to your hips, exaggerate the movement, make him hungry. And it worked. for that purpose. But here's what I didn't understand in my 20s that I understand now in my 50s. That walk draws a man's attention downward to the lower body, to consumption, to taking. When you lead with your hips, you're inviting energy that moves downward. When I was in college, navigating spaces that felt dangerous, I discovered something different instinctively. I walked in chest first, leading with my heart, shoulders back, but eyes scanning. I wasn't performing for anyone. I was assessing. Where's the exit? Who's watching? Where's the safe corner? Who's in the room that's trustworthy? Where's the bathroom? I watched while I was being watched. I was assessing while being assessed. And no one bothered me. Not once. I didn't have words for it then. I just knew when I walked like that, I was safe. Same woman, different wisdom. Then I thought presence was about attraction. Now I know presence is about protection. Then I performed confidence I didn't feel. Now I embody composure because I've done the inner work. According to Jumpstart Magazine's 2025 analysis, 77% of professionals now report burnout, and 72% of Americans have redefined success entirely, prioritizing happiness and fulfillment over the grind. Hallelujah. The soft life movement isn't about laziness. It's about recognizing that exhaustion was never the price for admission to a meaningful life. What I figured out in my body decades ago, the data now confirms. Sustainable presence outperforms performed hustle every time. Your life isn't over because you're older. It's just beginning to make sense, and the world is finally ready to hear it. The movement, walking. Starting position. Before you enter any room, align your 3 energy centers, your heart, your umbilicus, and your womb. Your heart should be open, leading, and transmitting its energy. Your umbilicus should be aware, connecting, and radiating outward. And your womb should be grounded, protected, and anchored. Those are the balance of energies that you need to feel. Feel the vertical alignment of them. You're not scattered, you're gathered. Just like we talked about in class 1. Go back and watch the video about making your triangle of protection during those times when the energy is very intense and scattered. But for today, we're feeling the vertical alignment. You're not scattered, you are gathered. The C practice, SEA. C, both by scanning the room, but also by feeling what fear or anxiety might be inside your body. Before you enter, it's okay to pause in the hallway or in the threshold, or if you can't pause while you're going through, you can step to the side, compose yourself, scan the room, see what's going on, not with anxiety, but with assessment. Like the farmer reading the field, like your ancestors reading the horizon. Where is the energy concentrated? Who's posturing? Who's predatory? Who's safe? Where are the other women, and what's their body language telling you? What's the social hierarchy in this room, and who's enforcing it? When you see clearly, you stop reacting to a story in your head, meaning everyone's judging me, she's prettier, I don't belong, and you actually start responding to what's actually there. And what's actually there? Usually a room full of people who are no more secure than you are, just better at pretending. The fear that you feel isn't because you're less than, it's because you've been trained to believe you are. See the room, see the game, see that no one is above you. E, embrace your worth. Now that you've seen clearly, remind yourself of who you are. This is where your 3 A's of effectiveness come in. Approach, heart-led. Do you enter situations? What is your natural opening energy? Make sure you stay heart-centered. Your umbilicus. This is where you're analyzing how do you process your problems and solve them once you're engaged. What's that trait within you? And how do you act? How do you move once it's time to move? I shared with you in the last lesson that mine are enthusiastic, resourceful, and courageous. And just by reminding myself of those 3 things as I pause in the threshold of a door, I have a different energy when I walk in. It's an upward moving energy. Find your 3. They should feel true, not aspirational, but accurate. The words that describe who you are at your best, how you approach a situation, how you analyze that situation, how you ultimately act, because that's what pausing to do the scan will allow you to do. Operate in your best zone of effectiveness. You're not walking in hoping to be accepted. You're walking in already knowing your value. A is allow. Allow your last waves of emotion to settle. Here's where most women rush and lose. You've scanned the room. You've entered yourself. Now emotions will rise. The old fears, the comparisons, the urge to shrink or prove yourself. Let them come, then let them settle. Let them come, then let them settle. Let them come, and let them settle. Don't act from the first wave of emotion. That wave is old programming, body shame, and the attention economy whispering their lies. You must process those in private, at least in your head, so they don't become sickness or decay inside of your body. But in public, you move from survival to thriving. And to do that, you must stay alert and composed. Wait for the wave to pass, breathe, stay in your body, and when the water's calm, then you act. Then you move forward with your 3rd A in your zone of effectiveness. Then you use your action trait to engage from a place of composure, not reactivity. This is the difference between a woman who walks in desperate and a woman who walks in their embodied wholeness. The desperate woman acts on the first wave. She overlaps, overexplains, overaccommodates, or she rages. She meets negativity with negativity, or she collapses in fear or flight. Embodied women can tap into their masculine skills to maintain structure. An embodied woman will remain upright and proud. An embodied woman lets the wave pass through her, just like the sea has waves that continually move back and forth. She moves when she is energetically secure and ready, and she engages on her terms. The dual reality of the feminine. You are being watched while you watch. You are being assessed while you assess. This is the reality women navigate every time we enter a space. The question isn't whether it's happening. It always is. And I want you to start to remember that. The question is, are you conscious of it or are you just reacting? When you're unconscious of it, you either shrink, hide your chest, avoid eye contact, disappear, or you overcompensate with aggressive posturing, defensive energy, proving yourself. When you're conscious of it, you can scan without broadcasting vulnerability. You can assess without appearing threatening, and you can be fully present without being consumed. This is composure, not performed confidence. Not fake it till you make it. Real composure comes from having done the inner work, like the squatting hip roll, gathering your energy, so that when you step into the outer world, you're not leaking. You're not looking for someone to complete you or compliment you. You're not hoping that they didn't notice your flaws. You're not bracing for rejection. You're simply there, open-hearted, clear-eyed, and grounded. And that, more than any makeup, any outfit, any clever thing you could say, is what commands a room. What it looks like when it's working. You'll feel steadier, not because the room changed, because you did. You'll notice you're not comparing yourself to the other women or even the younger version of yourself. You're seeing them as fellow humans navigating the same nonsense. You'll notice the men differently too. The ones who are crude will stand out immediately and you'll feel zero need to earn their approval. The ones who are kind will also stand out and you'll be able to receive that kindness without suspicion or desperation. You'll move more slowly, speak more deliberately, take up more space, not aggressively, but naturally. And here's the irony I keep discovering. When I stop competing for attention and simply arrive composed and clear, the room rearranges around me. The highest value people find me, opportunities appear, conversations shift, not because I performed, because I was present. I would like you to practice daily your C sequence before entering any space. It could be at the grocery store, a meeting, a party, your own kitchen when the family is there. C, by pausing at the threshold or stand off to the side and read the room. Feel what you're feeling inside. Embrace. Recall your worth, your wholeness. Feel your energy centers align. Allow. And as you enter, let the thoughts or emotions and waves just come. Stay grounded without the need to act immediately. Notice what changes when you do that consciously versus when you rush in unconsciously. Who approaches you differently? How do conversations shift? What do you see that you missed in the past? Geometry in the nervous system. Last week, we talked about the triangle, a very stable structure. This week, we're talking about the line, a vertical line to be precise. When you walk with your energy centers aligned, heart over umbilicus over womb, you create a flow of energy within yourself shaped like a figure 8. That line is your axis, your center of gravity. Your wholeness is on display. Your self-pride and lack of criticism or negativity allows the compassion to rise in an upward and outward motion from your heart. It loops down through your umbilicus where it then goes downward towards the stop gate, your womb, that we talked about last week. Once the energy hits that decision point, or stop gate, as I've called it, then your energy is pushed back up and again through the umbilicus where the energy can again be used for your heart. It's a self-sustainable or renewable energy source of wholeness within women. By staying in alignment with your core, you create that self-sustaining flow that is more attractive than any hair, makeup, or item of clothing could ever be. People can feel it. They may not be able to name it, but they respond to it. I don't know if men have it or not. I just know that I've talked with other women. I've experienced this feeling, and other women have too. I suspect men have it too. People can feel it. They may not be able to name it, but they respond to it. A woman with a clear vertical line doesn't get interrupted as often, doesn't get dismissed as easily, doesn't get overlooked, because her body is communicating, I'm here, I'm stable, I'm not going anywhere. You've altered your energetic structure to match that of men. I'm still only 5 foot 4 inches tall, but I radiate a much more magnanimous energy. The energy of self-respect, and self-respect looks great on anyone. Next week, we're going to do posture and eye contact. We've gathered our energy with the squatting hip roll, making the triangle to draw in and gather our energies. We've learned to enter a space by walking in your vertical line, heart centered, chest open and out. Next week, what do you do once you're in the room? How do you hold yourself? How do you turn? How do you occupy space without apology? How do you begin the next level of communication without words? We'll explore how to shift your attention deliberately and how to let someone earn your full focus. Because after reconnaissance comes engagement, and engagement requires knowing how to hold your ground. Do you need a demonstration? Because I know it's hard to learn movement from a newsletter. So for this 7-week series, I'm recording myself teaching each movement, exclusive for you, my newsletter subscribers. It's rough. This is very much a muddy boots. I'm relearning the moves that I taught in my 20s, but for my storied body now that I'm in my 50s. Because if you've read the earlier newsletters, you know that I crashed. The idea of getting back in front of camera was tough for me. So now I'm navigating and fortunately finding a lot of fun and flow back again. In fact, I think I like my body even better. No, I know I like my body even better today. So Click the link, go check it out. It'll get smoother with each teaching, so be kind. You will need a password. Use feminine intelligence. Go check it out now because it's time you remembered your power. And please pass this newsletter on to anyone else, your friends, family members who you think would benefit from 7 weeks of embodied wholeness practices. Until next week, be free, be happy.